Hello, friends. Welcome to Global English Tales, your destination for enchanting stories from around the world. Today, we embark on a magical journey with a tale that blurs the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. A story about hope, bravery, and the wonders that await when we dare to take the first step. This story is called The Midnight Ferryman. It follows the footsteps of young Aiden, a boy who discovers that courage can turn the darkest nights into the brightest adventures. With mysterious letters, glowing fairies, and whispered secrets, Aiden's life transforms forever. Settle in and let your imagination unfurl as we begin this 7-chapter adventure through shadows and dreams. Prepare for moments of surprise, friendship, and the knowledge that sometimes the most magical places are hidden just beyond our sight. Aiden had always listened for the wind's whispers. On the edge of his small village, strange gusts rattled the window beside his bed, as if eager to tell him a secret he could almost hear. One particularly quiet night, with clouds blocking the moon, he heard the gentle tap of paper brushing glass. Rubbing sleep from his eyes, he tiptoed to the window and found a folded letter, held in place by a glimmering smooth stone. His name glowed faintly on the envelope. Aiden. With trembling hands, Aiden unfolded the parchment. The message was written in curling, silvery ink. The ferryman sails at midnight. Stand under the willow by the riverbank. Bring only your courage. A million questions spun in Aiden's mind. Who was the ferryman? Why him? Should he be worried or excited? He glanced at the clock. 11:30. Heart pounding, he considered what his parents would say, sneaking out this late. But curiosity, stronger than caution, tugged at him. He dressed quickly, took the glowing stone for luck, and crept outside. The village was silent, holding its breath as Aiden set off toward the willow tree, unsure but ready for whatever the midnight hour would bring. The night air felt thick with secrets as Aiden hurried down the winding path to the river. Every shadow seemed to lean in, watching him pass. The willow tree stood tall, its sweeping branches trailing over the water as if to keep it company in the dark. Aiden's breath caught when he reached the base of the old tree. The river looked different at night, its surface like polished obsidian, glimmering with stray points of starlight. For a moment, silence pressed in, then the air shifted. A faint, silvery light shimmered on the water, and through the gentle mist, a small boat glided into view. A figure stood at the helm, cloaked in layers of midnight blue that faded into the night. Aiden tried to speak, but the words tangled in his throat. The ferryman's cloak seemed woven from river mist and moonbeams, his face hidden in the shadow of his hood. Yet his voice was gentle and clear. "You've come," Aiden, the ferryman said, as if he'd been waiting forever. A strange feeling fluttered in Aiden's chest, part fear, part excitement. The ferryman nodded at the stone in Aiden's hand. "That will keep you safe. Are you ready to sail?" Aiden swallowed, then stepped forward, determination rising with the current. "I am." Aiden stepped gingerly onto the narrow wooden boat, heart thumping as the river mist swirled around his ankles. The ferryman's lantern glowed with a strange blue light, scattering fleeting shadows across the water. Without a word, the ferryman pushed off from the bank. The village disappeared into darkness behind them, replaced by a world of silent ripples and drifting clouds. For a while, Aiden said nothing, letting the hush of the night soak into his skin. Around them, the river ran endless and wide, stretching to unknown shores. What waits on the other side? Aiden's voice was barely more than a whisper. The ferryman did not turn. Few ask, fewer still remember. There was no threat in his words, only quiet wonder. Every crossing is different. Some people find what they need, others what they fear. The journey itself is your first test. Aiden gripped the glowing stone tighter. Strange golden lights appeared beneath the water's surface, twisting and moving like fish made of fire. He leaned over the edge, mesmerized. The ferryman steadied him with a gentle hand. "Do not fall, or you may journey where few return," the ferryman murmured. The boat glided onward, the world around them folding and refolding, until at last a glimmering shoreline appeared, beckoning Aiden into the heart of the unknown. As the boat bumped softly against the new shore, Aiden's courage wavered for a moment. Soft silver sand shimmered underfoot as he stepped out, the ferryman watching silently, lantern in hand. All around, the land seemed stitched together from memories. Echoes of laughter hung in the air. Distant shadows danced beneath ancient trees, and the wind carried words Aiden almost recognized. He wandered cautiously through this dreamlike landscape, heart pounding in his chest. He heard a ripple of giggles and turned to see faded shapes. Children playing a long-lost game, their outlines flickering in and out like candle flames. Further along, he glimpsed a girl who looked strangely familiar, hunched over a stone, weeping. Something in her sadness pressed on Aiden's heart and made him want to go to her, but she faded away before he could take a step. Aiden called out, but his voice returned as a whisper, as if the air itself remembered everyone who had ever passed this way. With each step, he felt both lighter and lonelier, as if pieces of himself were floating free. The glowing stone pulsed in his palm, guiding him deeper into the shimmering mist. The ferryman's words echoed in his mind. Every crossing is different. What would his journey reveal, and would he be brave enough to face it? Aiden walked deeper into the shore of forgotten echoes, each step sending tiny ripples over the shimmering sand. The whispers grew louder, swirling like a gentle storm of voices from long ago. Ahead, through the silvery mist, he spotted something unusual, a tall, ornate mirror standing alone on a pedestal carved from river stone. Curiosity pulled him closer, but as Aiden stepped before the mirror, his reflection flickered and changed. The glass didn't show his face, but moments from his life, times of doubt, fear, and times of joy and courage. It showed how he had felt small and powerless, but also brave in the face of the unknown. Suddenly, Aiden's image smiled back, steadier and stronger than before. The mirror's surface rippled and a voice echoed softly. To journey forward, you must first accept who you are, both your light and your shadows. Aiden's heart swelled. He realized that the ferry ride wasn't just about reaching a new place, but about facing what lived inside him. When he touched the mirror, A warm glow spread from his hand through his whole body. Behind him, the ferryman's voice called, "The path will open now." Steeling himself against doubt, Aiden turned to follow the fading lights, stepping toward the next challenge, waiting just beyond the mist. The path ahead opened into a twilight grove where tall, ancient trees loomed like silent watchers. Their leaves shimmered with strange hues between silver and deep blue, casting ghostly patterns on the ground. The ferryman remained beside Aiden, his eyes reflecting the strange light. Suddenly, a low murmur rose from the shadows. From the mist emerged three figures, robed and hooded, their faces hidden, but their presence unmistakably powerful. They were the guardians of the veil, keepers of the boundary between worlds. Their voices, when they spoke, were like the rustling leaves, soft but heavy with meaning. "To pass, you must answer," said the first guardian, holding out a hand that shimmered with starlight. "What is the light that lives in the darkest place?" Aiden paused, the memory of the glowing stone in his pocket warming his fingers. "Hope," he said firmly, "the light that guides even lost souls." The guardians exchanged silent glances, then the second spoke. "And what is the cost of crossing?" "Bravery," Aiden answered, "to face fear without turning away." The last guardian nodded and stepped aside, revealing a glowing archway woven from moonlight and shadow. The ferryman smiled, voice a steady guide. "You are ready." Aiden stepped forward, heart aflame with promise and the adventure still to come. Beyond the silver archway, Aiden entered a realm unlike any he had imagined. The river twisted and curled around islands glowing softly with blue fireflies, trees humbling with a weight of glowing fruits, and skies painted in colors that shifted with every blink. The ferryman's boat waited silently, but Aiden stepped onto the shore, feeling a pull deeper within this mysterious land. A soft melody floated on the air, resonating in Aiden's chest. Guided by the tune, he moved toward a grand tree at the river's heart. Its bark shimmered like starlight, and at its roots lay a small pool reflecting the swirling cosmos above. Aiden knelt and peered into the pool. Images appeared, his village, his family, and faces of friends he had never met but somehow knew. Alongside appeared a message carved in light. The bravest journeys are not just of distance, but of the soul. Turning, Aiden found the ferryman watching him kindly. "You have crossed the river, faced your fears, and learned to see beyond," he said. With a gentle smile, the ferryman gestured to the boat. "It's time to return." As the ferry slipped back toward his world, Aiden carried a new light within, a hope stronger than fear, and a spirit ready for any challenge ahead. The midnight journey had changed him forever. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey through the Midnight Ferryman. Aiden's adventure reminds us that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to face the unknown, and that sometimes the greatest journeys lead us deep within ourselves. If you enjoyed this tale, be sure to like, subscribe, and share for more enchanting stories from across the globe. Here at Global English Tales, we believe every story carries a spark of magic, waiting to light up your imagination. Until next time, may your nights be filled with wonder, and your dreams always guide you toward new adventures. Goodbye. and keep the tales alive.